Mr. Speaker, this is the final amendment to the bill, which would not kill the bill or send it back to committee. If adopted, the bill will immediately proceed to final passage as amended. Mr. Chairman, this amendment is simple. It adds $20 million to nuclear non-proliferation accounts so that nuclear materials do not fall into the wrong hands. The possibility that terrorists or rogue nations will acquire nuclear weapons, fissile material, or radiological material that can be used in a dirty bomb are among the greatest threats facing our nation and the international community. Right now, luckily, though there are, of course, exceptions, these most dangerous weapons are in the hands of responsible actors. We cannot allow that dynamic to shift, and we must ensure that these weapons never fall into the hands of bad actors who would seek to do us or the rest of the international community harm. However, today, there is more fissile material in the world than at any other time in our history, and the bad actors are taking notice. According to several studies conducted at Harvard, at least 2 terrorist groups, Al-Qaeda and the Japanese cult Aum Shinrikyo, have made serious efforts to buy, steal, or otherwise obtain nuclear weapons in recent years. There is clear evidence that ISIL would, if given the opportunity, strive to do us great harm. After all, it only takes a grapefruit-sized amount of highly enriched uranium to make a nuclear weapon, and there's hundreds of metric tons of material out there, some of which is still vulnerable to theft. Now, according to reports, ISIL has been monitoring a senior official at a Belgian facility, by way of example, with substantial stocks of highly enriched uranium. We absolutely can't take the risk that the United States would be ambushed by a rogue nuclear threat, and we must not leave ourselves exposed to a threat that would forever change our American way of life. While we can never protect against every threat, we can, however, mitigate it by working with our international partners, federal agencies, national laboratories, and the private sector to move quickly to secure and eliminate vulnerable nuclear materials. Small investments, such as the ones offered in this amendment, can yield significant national security benefits. By moving $20 million into the Defense Nuclear Nonproliferation account, we would ultimately make our country and the world a safer place to live. Mr. Speaker, Congress has worked across the aisle on this issue many times before, and we have seen some incredible success stories that have a profound impact on the security of our nuclear materials. During the fiscal year 2012 Energy and Water Appropriations Bill, the House approved an amendment by a voice vote, no less, offered by Congressman Fortenberry and Congresswoman Sanchez to do exactly what this motion to recommit seeks to do today. Their amendment to increase appropriations for the Global Threat Reduction Initiative under the Defense Nuclear Nonproliferation account was enthusiastically supported on both sides of this chamber, securing an important bipartisan victory for the international effort to secure vulnerable fissile material and keeping our nation safe from the threat of nuclear terrorism. Mr. Speaker, this House did not cower when faced with this challenge back then, and we must not do so today. Let today be another one of those bipartisan success stories. Let us redouble our efforts to prevent the proliferation and catastrophic abuse of sensitive nuclear materials and technologies across the globe here at home. I beseech my fellow members, adopt this amendment, keep our nation safe, and deny the nuclear terrorists who would seek to do us harm their own success story. With that, I yield back. I reserve the balance.